So
we haven't been having Matt come out to spend much time in the garage lately
it's too freaking cold.
It is very, very cold. We've had snow since Christmas. This is the Pacific Northwest. We don't normally have that much snow for that long. It looks beautiful, but it's been a little challenging.
Well, that sucks. All right, Driver Studio in the house. Welcome, Hot Rod Alley. Hello. How are you?
Hello. I'm well, thank you.
Well, yeah, it's cold out here.
Yeah, it's been really
chilly.
cold. So you haven't gotten to spend much time in the garage because it's been so cold, and it's been the holidays. So.
But my ideas have been going crazy thinking about that because she has been harping on me lately about getting that drive shaft issue figured out of the wagon. Make sure to go back to a few videos back, a whole bunch of videos back, and you can check out the issues that we had with the drive shaft on the 57. And we'll get that all taken care of before next season.
Since we haven't been working on current projects, that maybe it would be fun for you guys to know about some projects that Matt has had in the past. And we don't really have videos, so we're going to be showing you some very nice pictures that we have.
Awesome photos with the best quality we could upload and swap over from different items of electronic. I wish I had content for all the cars that I've worked on, all the different ideas, because I don't just buy a car to, flip it and turn it real quick. I actually play with it, have ideas, sleep on it, dream about it, draw stuff up, take different pictures, and come up with a game plan.
So we thought a big part of Matt's life had been Oldsombile.
Big cutlass guy. Check out some videos of that from the previous.
So we wanted to talk about especially one in particular that was very near and dear to Matt's heart, but just couldn't keep them all because if you
couldn't afford to.
Yeah, you gotta move on to the next project sometimes. Yeah. But which one of these Oldsmobiles are you especially excited to tell them about, Matt?
1983 Hurst, not Hurst, Hurst, Oldsmobile, Hurst Olds, 83. T-top car, the lightning rod shifters, the whole kit and caboodle. Awesome car. The reason why I love that car, I'll hop right into it and tell a story. Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Okay, so years ago, my dad and I went to a wicked concert out at the Gorge. The guy ends up pulling up right before the concert starts, and my jaw hits the ground. And I asked him, I said, man, I love cars. What is that car? What is that car? And he says, it's a Hurst Olds. And I'm just freaking out. Of course I knew T-tops from Camaros and stuff, but I didn't know those kind of cars had T-tops. The spoiler on the back. The wheels were gleaming. This car was incredibly detailed out. The shifters blew my mind, And he starts to go on and tell me about stuff. So from right then, I knew I got to own one day. So at the time, when I found mine, I had a 69 Chevy Suburban, two-wheel drive, lowered, C10 style, Lo and behold, this Hurst Olds pops up on Craigslist. And it's about an hour away. Contact the guy up, and I don't have any money really to buy another project car because I'm blowing money on the 69 Suburban. So I said, hey, man, are you up for any trades? And he goes, man, I'm really going through some tough times right now. And he says, unless it's like a van or something. I said, brother, I've got a really cool Suburban. He goes, man, I'm only into like old Suburbans. I said, man, I got a lowered 69 C10 Suburban, squatting on rallies, daily driver, heater worked great, windshield wipers. The high beam switch was giving me trouble. I will be honest about that. He says, man, if you can give me $500 in the Suburban. Well, me being the wheeler dealer that I am, I said, how about $400? Okay. So I said, man, I'll bring it out to you right away. I went out with a buddy, met my buddy in a parking lot. We throw the Suburban up on the trailer the rest of the way out, drop the Suburban off, fire the Hurst Olds up, driving onto the trailer, and this thing is puking coolant everywhere. Had a bolt busted off in the water housing for the top of the thermostat. So ended up getting it home. We blow the heater core apart that night, fix the thermostat housing, replace the thermostat. The radiator actually didn't have any leaks. Changed out a couple hoses. Basically, from that time on, the car was a daily driver. I did not daily drive this car. What I ended up doing was I have a connection in the family that was able to do a Carfax for me for free. So they Carfax the car. And I find out this 83 Hurst Olds had not been registered from 83 till 1987. The car never was registered, publicly in the system or whatever. the car had actually been driven around with dealer plates for 4 years, which I thought that's kind of interesting. You know, I wonder why. Why would a car be run around with dealer plates for 4 years? So I decide to contact the Hurst Club of America, and I give them the VIN number on the car. Boom. I get this email, and I cannot remember his name because it's been 10 years since we had that car probably. The guy says, man, you've got a brass hat car. Right on. That sounds fantastic. What's a brass hat car? I've never heard of this term before, you know? So he says, this car was a car that was driven around primarily by execs, a VP, top salesman, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Car bounces around for 4 years, never goes in, right? So finally, 87, he gets registered. If I'm not mistaken, if memory serves me correctly, it was car number 198. I apologize if the owner of car number 198 says, oh, he's lying. Check out my pictures, you'll see I don't have a picture of the VIN number. I don't even know if I have registration of that car sitting around anymore.
But it was a small number.
It was very low, very, very low. And I think there's like 3,001 of them were made in 1983. Anyway, something like that. The numbers escape me because it's been so long, but I was really big into them at one time. So I end up checking it out, and he tells me all this information. I thought, wow, that's really cool. And I thought, just for the fact that it was a brass hat car, kind of had this interesting history on it, I, of course, wanted to repaint the car because it was in relatively good shape. It was straight. It ran and drove. T-top, lightning rods, you know, all the cool stuff was there. And I thought, let me get the stuff that's missing. I had a bunch of cutlass parts because I've had, I think, 9 different G-body cutlasses now. And at that time, I had a bunch of parts. I think I had 2 442s in here at that time, and our 68 convertible and a 68 parts car. Monte Carlo SS sitting on the side of the shop. So I was flush with parts to get this thing right. Lauren Engineering, LaurenEng.com. They were still up and going, so parts were easily available like Amazon nowadays. So I decide I'm going to redo this car. However, I am not going to stripe the car with a vinyl decal set, which if you need decals for your Hurst Olds, go to phoenixgraphics.com. Phoenix Graphics, if I'm not mistaken, they're out of Canada. Incredible quality parts. In some of my previous videos, you'll see that I got decals from Phoenix Graphics for the 69 GTO Judge clone. But yeah, so I'd had good luck with them in the past, but I decided I didn't want to just go with a decal kit. I wanted to try my skills with laying lines, and I painted all the stripes on this. So you'll see in this video, the montage of photos, you will see the different stages where the car is in black. The car, after I did all the repair work that you'll see in these photos here, the car went into sanding primer, I believe twice. I dry blocked it, then I wet sanded the car, then I shot the car black to run all my small black fine lines. Then I did red and silver, one or the other first, I forget which way it went, and got all the correct dimensions, did all that good stuff. But all the striping, all down the sides, all around the whole car, top and bottom, that was all done by hand, laid out by me right here in the garage next door to the shop. And then, as you'll see in the photos, after clear coat, to trap all those stripes, so when you ran your hand across it, you couldn't feel. I remember your mom loved that. Your mom was like my biggest fan on that paint job, and it went really well. It was amazing. It's amazing the kind of stuff you can do at home if you just put a couple hours a night into it. A half hour here, half hour there. It really does add up, and you can get some good quality stuff out of your own garage at home. You know, remember, this car was completely shot here. If we ever find video photos, that's what we should do. A cool picture montage is the full restoration on that, because that's a full frame off on the 57. Anyways, so we end up having my dad, Maynard, come through, and he cuts and buffs the whole entire car. Then I contact Phoenix Graphics, and I get my new Hurst Olds decal badges, you know, where it says HO and Hurst Olds. Did some plastic interior panel repair, detailed out the interior, painted up all the plastics, new maroon. Really went to town, got new carpets, you know, new floor mats and stuff. It was a really cool thing to be able to do that car, because that car actually had sat. So that car had sat in the woods from 1996 until 2010 or 11 when I bought the car from that kid. And which is kind of sad when you think about it, because that car didn't hit the road with regular people until 1987. So that car was only on the road for 9 years. When you think about it, it's kind of sad. Yeah. Such a rare, collectible, iconic car.
The thing that I've always found so interesting with cars is that there'll be these items that are such special treasures, and people don't know what they have. And so then somebody who knows what they have, persuades them to sell it, and then they can finally get it to be enjoyed and appreciated and valued for what it really is.
Well, and speaking of that too, I remember I had reached out to the gentleman that I bought the car from, or traded the Suburban for, and I said, man, do you have their contact information? He said, no, unfortunately I don't. I said, can you tell me where they live out there? And I would love to swing out there and talk to them and show them pictures of the car after it's been restored and get kind of a backstory on it. He said, sorry, man, I don't want to tell you. I don't feel comfortable telling you where you got it. So unfortunately, I just thought it'd be cool for them to see the car done, but I never got to connect with them and tell them, kind of too bad, so sad. But car ended up going to a collector out near the Oso mudslide area. He had an 84 Hurst.
Hopefully after the mudslide.
After the mudslide, yep. He had said he lived very close to the mudslide, and his house and neighborhood were fortunately spared. But he was very close by, and he had an 84 Hurst that his parents bought brand new, and he was restoring that car, doing a full frame off restoration on that one. And he said growing up, he always thought the 83 was cooler. And he said, so he thought, of course, he's like, 80, they're basically the same car if you don't know. One's silver, one's black. But he said, I always wanted to have the 83. And he said, this way, while I'm restoring my 84, I have an 83 to play with. So in the garage, as far as I know, he's got both of them sitting side by side, which is a cool ending for my part of the story with it. Yeah. Hopefully he's got a bunch of great memories. Hopefully he won some trophies or something.
Yeah. But I think that's the part about, if the car is something that you need to pass on, like, we want them to find good homes, with these cars. We want to make sure they're getting to be enjoyed. And I think that it's fun to get to have your part where you are making it to that point where you can enjoy it.
Yeah.
And maybe we don't get to enjoy it forever because we're, led to different projects, and then someone else can really enjoy and make those memories with it. And we have the fun of knowing that we did own it at one time.
Exactly. I can always say that I owned a Hurst T-top 83, even though they have the 7.5 rear end instead of the 8.5, which came in 84.
I don't really remember getting to ride in it too much, but I do remember thinking the T-tops were super cool.
You did get to sit and pose in that car.
I did take some pictures.
Check pictures of Hot Rod Alley doing her thing.
But I also thought the lightning rods, I've never seen anything like that before we had that car.
Yeah, they're tricky.
So they're pretty cool.
They're tricky and sticky.
If you could comment below, we would love to have people sharing what their experience is. If you've got a Hurst Olds, or...
I drove mine very little. Very little.
Maybe you got your dream car from one of your first memories of, before you're old enough to drive, but you knew, I want this car someday, and you got yours. What was your car like that? So I'd love to hear, what other people's kind of dream car was that hopefully they've gotten. Maybe you haven't gotten it yet. Maybe Matt can help you to find your dream car. Mm-hmm. He's always perusing things online. So,
and of course, check out our website, especially after February, because we are working on the new version. Supposed to have that new version go live beginning of February. driverstudio.com, driverstudio.com. The place for everything car related, by car people.
Yeah.
Show us your videos, show us your projects, tell us your stories, put your car for sale, buy a car from our website. Reach out to me and say, hey, can you help me find a Hurst Olds?
Or reach out to other people and say, hey, I'm working on this kind of a project. Does anybody know where I could find parts? Or who would be a really good person to go to get my exhaust done? Or
hey, Hot Rod Alley, will you come pose in my hot rod? See?
Well, I don't know that I'm making house calls yet, but maybe we can meet up at a show or something.
That's right.
That'd be kind of fun. Yeah, I think it's just a great environment that we're hoping to create so that people can know about different car activities, cruises, shows, swap meets, those kinds of things that are going on. Just a place where you can do a little bragging or daydreaming, buying, selling. We're just hoping it would be a great place for car people to all come together, and it'd be a place just specifically with cars as our common interest, and hoping it could be a really fun site. And so we're going to keep you posted as things keep moving forward.
And of course, we'll keep trying to get videos out every single week. We didn't do Christmas because Christmas, snow, super cold, almost single digits here.
Enough excuses. We're out here in the cold tonight.
That's right.
We're telling you about our cool car. We're going to show you some pictures here that you've gotten to see, and we might try and do some other throwbacks of past rigs that we've had, because we've gotten to have a lot of fun cars. So hope you enjoy what you've gotten to see tonight, and thanks for hanging out with us. And
sorry if this is too long of a video, but we appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
come checking our
thanks
stuff
for hanging out. And
Yep.
I think it's time for us to go inside and get warm.
Yep. And I don't know how to say his name, but make sure to go on YouTube, check out the good homie Mortske Repair. Awesome YouTube channel, super cool stuff. Always do it. This guy's got gbody stuff. This guy's got C10 stuff. This guy's got 60 Impala stuff. Mortske Auto Repair, Mortske Repair. Brother, man, we see you. We're watching. We're coming for you, too. So, yeah, make sure, if you hear us, bro, subscribe to our channel. But I think that's it. Let's go inside, and I'll show you cars online that I want to buy soon.
Have a good night.
Driver Studio, out.